The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
The way the two of you argued, it didn't feel like enemies. It felt like family.
How so?
Family knows you better than anyone, and that can be good or bad.
I had not thought of it that way. But yes, we had centuries to stoke the fires of our hatred. I saw his rise to tyranny coming, and could not stop it. And he saw me disrupt his plans for dominion time and time again.
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Like the terrible trickster Fen'Harel who sealed away the gods.
There was truth to their stories. My rebellion had indeed disrupted the lives of those who had been comfortable. And when I created the Veil, I destroyed an empire. Their judgments were fair, if clouded. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elganon's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. You work together with a camaraderie it took me centuries to build in my rebellion.
So what do we do next?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon. And the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elgernon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens. And it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Okay. We always knew this was going to be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this, or all of Thedas falls. So we see it through. All the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before,
Not without help, we didn't.
so we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgranon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Today could have gone better, but it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up. And be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last. Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
A lantern that sucks the life out of people.
Their very souls. But we know where Johanna will be.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom... Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
You could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
The Evanurus do not need, they only demand. Deny them.
Hey, just thought I'd check in. See how you're doing.
I'm all right, I think. Thanks. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
You can talk to your friends about it. I hear that helps.
It's already helping. You checking on me, I mean. I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then... everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
I know you would have done the same for me.
You showed me that my anger doesn't have to destroy me. That it could be a gift in my fight. And yes, if you ever need me like I needed you, I will be there. That is my promise to you. You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. Do you think he can be helped?
Varric tried to talk sense into him. And look how that ended. Even the Inquisitor thinks he's too far gone, and we're past the point of talking. But part of me doesn't want to believe it. Because it means that there's a point when you have to give up on someone. It means you could have given up on me.
Tell me about Honoris.
He is the light, the hope of Elvenan, the bringer of...
Tell me about the war against the Evanurus.
Even now, the armies of Anaris wage a glorious war against the
Tell me about the armies.
chosen of Elvenan, made pure and stripped of their want to serve the great Anaris.
So demons. He made an army of demons. Damn it, Syrian. What have you done? Oh, Rook.
What are you hoping to find out from the archive?
About Anaris? What would make Syrian work with him? But everything I found out, it just makes it worse. And now Syrian wants to meet, to explain himself.
It's kind of hard to explain turning people into demons.
I know. Talking to him again, knowing what I know, it's hard. Beyond hard. And that's if this isn't all a big trap.
Listen to your gut. Would he really try to lure you into a trap?
I would have said no before all of this. The Syrian I know cared. Loved his people more than anything. He kept me grounded, focused, made sure I was okay. And I took care of him, protected him because I loved my little brother and I owed him. But what he is now, who he is now, I don't know. I'd hoped the archive would make it easy. Tell me it was a misunderstanding. But Anaris is evil, full stop. And if my brother's working with him...
Syrian must be working with him for a reason.
I'd like to believe that. It'd make this easier. When I thought he died, it almost broke me. I don't know if I can do that again.
So what are you going to do?
Meet with him.
Are you okay with that?
No, but I need to talk to him, convince him he's wrong.
And if that doesn't work?
Will you come with me?
Of course.
Thanks, Rook. Really. Just tell me when you're ready.
Not a... Bad view.
Supper in Docktown?
What's the occasion?
I've got leads to chase on Alia and Docktown's missing people. A few sources will only talk if I'm alone. But if you're around after, you help me uncover all this. Supper's on me.
Sure. Count me in. Oh, great. Is it your turn to cook? What's all this gonna be?
Paella. Well, 2 of them. One without seafood for Emmerich.
So, you're making dinner for the team twice?
Everyone has to eat.
Yes, but you make fancy dishes with names. I cook whatever I find in the pantry and hope no one dies.
Cooking is just a hobby. Sometimes it's good to do something that isn't work. I've never really faced any problem too big to solve. Now there's Spine, the gods, Treviso. It's hard to ever feel you're doing enough. But here, now, I have people I can care for. Something as small as providing a treat feels big enough to matter.
Rook, something's come up. Evka dug around and found us someone who knows more about the Gloomhowler.
Anything useful?
Our new friend wants to talk in person. Figured you'd want to come along for this one.
Thanks for the tip-off. Got people clear before trouble hit.
Lorelei, everything good?
Same as always. Got some new supplies. Take a look. Come back anytime.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. Besides, I have news, and every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Magister Parvus, it's good to see you again.
At least someone appreciates my presence.
You're our eyes in the Magisterium. If someone spots you here...
Yes, I know. Can't be spotted with the shadow dragons. You worry too much, May.
Well, what do you have for us?
The cult lost people in Alathan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. he aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
Preparing for something big? I don't like the sound of that. We barely got out of Weishaupt alive, and we needed Solas's help in Arlathan.
And that's why we need to know what the Venatori are preparing for. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now.
So I'm supposed to just accept that they're better because of an accident of birth?
That's just how the world works.
Excellent strike, Nev! Still standing, not bad.
Well, I'm late. Tried grabbing something from Hal's on the way, but the fish fry's not running. So much for supper.
What have you been doing?
Chasing leads. On Alias Venatori, Darktown's missing people, and anything that might come close.
Find anything?
Plenty. Something I can use is another story. So here we are. I'm out of leads, and you're out that supper I promised.
Don't worry about it. And this case, we'll get through it eventually.
Yeah. I could use a walk. And some rocks. You up for it?
Rocks?
Yeah. So, rocks. Look for good ones.
You were serious about this?
You'll see why.
Were you keeping Nev company?
Or hoping for a treat.
Why are we doing this?
You know what they say, leave no stone unturned.
Really?
No.
You know, when I say we'll get through, I believe it.
I know you do.
You don't believe me?
I believe you think so.
Careful. That's almost optimism.
All right, time to put these rocks to use. Come on.
How are we doing?
With the rocks or in general?
Let's stick with the rocks.
In that case, so far so good.
A win for us?
I guess it is.
Calliope, you still going?
Process doesn't help anyone else. I don't have a lot to work with.
Over here. I'll take you to my usual spot.
Fancy.
Isn't it?
Is this what you do when you're out of leads?
I'd look over my notes, but I've got them by heart. I just need to clear my head.
Stepping back can't hurt. Clear minds get things done.
If only they stayed that way. We can't count on a lot here. When I started, I wasn't going to save Minrathus, never mind Thedas. But if I could take a job and follow through, well, maybe people could count on me. But at the end of the day, what have I done here? What sticks? If people like Aelia come back for more... I'm fighting, Rook. Sometimes it feels as though the city itself stabbed me in the back.
Not on my watch. I'm here for you.
I'm getting that impression. Oh, this is crazy.
What?
Getting mixed up with me.
Nev.
Or that I want you to.
It's not crazy.
There's a lot to lose.
Isn't there always?
Have I told you your trouble?
You've got something.
Maybe. Come on. Well, ready to chase a long shot? We need to get to the spillway.
You've got something on Aelia.
We were watched.
By the cat?
Sure. I mean at the relic deal. When Aelia controlled Damas, she mentioned Bataris and the stolen relic. Why bring that up? Why would she care?
You think she was involved?
Or one of her puppets. She's been careful, but there may be something to pick up at the site. A witness. Anything.
So we're returning to the scene of the crime, where we fought Bataris.
It's just a hunch, but it's the best I've got.
I'm with you. Let's see what's there. What's the plan?
Bataris had a red lyrium relic. Those don't play nice with the Veil. The Viper left me in peaceable. Remnants fade with time, but if we got here soon enough...
Remnants. We've got them.
Fainter than the ones we found before, but I'll see what I can draw out. Let's take a look. I'm on it. Echoes of greed, pride, our Venatori, Bataris. Got it. The thread smuggler. But this feels scrambled. Two people's thoughts in one source. She wasn't a traitor. She was a puppet. Aelia moving goods to her followers. Look there. There's more. By the waterfall. Look, I realize you just kissed a girl, and now I've got you chasing leads.
I realize I kissed Nev Gallus, and this is part of your charm.
And I thought you were sweet before. This one's afraid. A witness? Someone else showed up too, after we left. If I can pull out more of an echo, a memory...
So Nev Gallus is back. Tell me what you saw.
Nothing, I swear.
Aelia.
No. In my head. Stay out.
Bystander. They must have seen the fight.
Then Aelia showed up.
Tell me, would you see this city rise? Be a thrall in service to its glorious rebirth?
Thrall? No,
Silence! Your will
belongs to the Venatori.
I'm so sorry.
The risen god will unlock my true power. He's given me Vena Vitalis. We start here.
What's Vena Vitalis?
A rumor, an old Tevinter ritual to increase blood magic. Fake accounts appear on the black market. The real records were burned by magisters. It scared them. But if Aelia cozied up to Algernon, an elven god might know the trick. Or something close he could trade as our legacy.
A blood ritual? Then the missing people... It's a lead.
But where? When? Who else does Aelia break before I track her down?
Nev?
This place means something to me. But what am I to it if I can't...
Minrathus failed before, not you. This time we stop Aelia for good. Venatori who threatened Docktown, they've got Nev Gallus to fear.
She won't make it easy.
People's lives are at stake.
Aren't they always? I'm a sucker, Rook. Getting caught up in all this. Bad habit.
You're not fighting alone.
End of the day, I'm used to counting on myself. That's how it's been.
Now you've got us. when you need it.
Trouble over there.
From afar! Move now!
And another Fen'Harel altar.
Elganon displayed at Arlathan. How smoothly he commanded the will of hundreds at once.
If Alia's been kissing up to a god, it's that one. Venatori in his pocket and now an archdemon. Can't say I like where this is going.
You and Belara cut through his enchantment.
Yeah. Lucky he didn't know we were there. Can't count on it twice.
We'll find something more.
We're losing hard. With me.
Look out!
We're under fire.
You don't have to...
We've got this easy. We're coming for you. They're taking us apart. They're hammering us! This is too tough!
Now, Venatori, what's going on?
How do they defy the gods? Our gods lead us.
That's interesting. I wasn't expecting the Venatori to show up.
I heard mention of shipments. Perhaps.
Let's look around. I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Thank the Maker. Did you find the others?
What others?
Those mercenaries have abducted people from around Docktown, then sold them to the Venatori. I heard them talk about a warehouse. They could be holding them there.
We'll look into it. The warehouse where we found the Darkspawn isn't far from here. I thought the Shadow Dragons were keeping an eye on it, but let's check just to be safe. Let's look around, see what we find. Well, that's not good. Sounds like blood magic.
Now for our masters!
Trafficking in people. Vile. We need to stop this. Low tide beach. Let's go.
Rumble in our sight. You'll leave Docktown to us.
We won't let you terrorize these people.
Not too bad.
It's these Venatori down.
As it should be.
The more scattered we make the cult, the better for Docktown.
We'll get you out of there. Hang on. You all right?
No, but I'm alive and grateful. They were going to take me somewhere. They talked about rituals and risen gods.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. You have somewhere to go. Someplace you'll be safe.
I don't know the city.
Go to the docks. Ask for directions to the pawn shop. When you get there, tell them Gallus sent you.
How well do you know Maevaris?
By reputation, she's been a prominent politician for a long time, and a hero to boot. We don't work together much, but from what I've seen, she's earned the good name.
We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. And half-eaten still. The bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain. Lenos intends to destroy the city with Blight and Darkspawn.
Carthus. Nothing like an attack to cause chaos in a city.
You should head there immediately.
All right, let's go.
We're not alone.
Live!
And Rook takes that.
Good work! Take the last blow!
Made it through. There's a problem. Beat the odds there.
Something tore through these gates. Something big. Watch out! I bet this darkspawn was what tore through the gates.
Made it through that one.
More blights in the way. That did it. We can get through.
Think there's enough of them?
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
At least a dozen people have been lost trying to map this place. But I've mentioned that.
It wasn't enough. There must be another one.
Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing. We got it. Way should be clear.
Shadow dragons? How did you find this thing? Venatori, to me! Do you think you've won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori? Or the risen gods?
I don't know, but I can take this on.
Shadow dragons have brought nothing but chaos to the city!
At least we're not trying to blight it.
Careful! Look right!
One less corrupt Templar in the house.
Can't say he'll be missed.
Let's look around, see what we find. Lanos' documents. They detail the Venatori's long-term plans and what they want. The Risen God's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for. These star charts predict an eclipse to make magic stronger.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse. To strengthen its power.
All this. The ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans. We have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
The Shadow Dragons will be pleased to learn of what transpired here.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You, on the throne, Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Changing to Winter, helping people. If we can get something good out of all this, I'm for it.
You've given us an opening, Rook, and believe me, we shall seize upon it.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're shadow dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
Nevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the South. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
You want me to choose who will be Archon? But I'm not even from here. I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right. I'll go do that.
Grand news about Lenos.
One less crooked Templar in town.
The city will be better off with them gone.
We can hope.
Lenos made my life miserable. Rana's too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not going to mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Maevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
I just don't know enough about Tevinter to know what's best for its people.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Maevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Maevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
What do you think might happen, depending on who leads?
With May, she gets power back again. Gets one more shot at changing Tevinter from the top down. Worst that could happen is nothing. But that's what you risk when all you rely on is hope. But with Dorian...
We could get chaos, strife. Things might get harder before they get easier. If they get easier.
I'll take my chances.
And whoever leads will have the Shadow Dragon's support, right?
Count on it.
We'll keep fighting. For Dorian. Or for Maevaris.
What else is there to do in this town, anyway? It rains all the damn time.
So, what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. I'd call that a good day.
I meant about Maevaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
You know me. I'm trouble. But more than that, it's your city. Your Tevinter. And I care about what you think.
Sweet talker. Maevaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But damn it, there's no right answer. They both play the game well, and Tevinter's ready for change. But the best way to get it, who can make it happen, I wish I knew.
Maker. A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Maevaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
What happens after it's decided who'll lead?
Well, Lenos is gone, the cult's numbers are down, and they're scrambling to prepare for the god's ritual. They'll be distracted. It's a perfect opportunity to get our preparations in order.
All plans contingent on surviving the current disaster, of course.
Maevaris should lead.
I will not squander the opportunity. That is my promise to you all.
And May will have my full support, of course, for when enemies get in our way.
They will. It is to Winter, after all.
The risen gods are still causing chaos. The people will need your voice to keep them fighting.
Oh, they will fight. This city has strength enough to stand against any so-called gods. We will win the day, and after that, we will win a brighter to Winter for all of us. That Venatori stunt with the Darkspawn has me dreading what's to come.
You and me both.
Okay, let's run some more practice.
Rook. Thanks for tagging along, Rook. Those feelers I put out about the Gloomhowler turned up something. Evka, I got your message.
I figured you'd want to hear this. This is Davrin and Rook. You can trust them.
What's your name?
It's okay. We're here to help.
Nothing to be afraid of.
My name's Valya. When I heard about Wise Helped, what happened... I once trained to be a Grey Warden, but I left before the joining.
It's not for everyone.
It wasn't that. It's... I'm the one who found the Griffin eggs, before they hatched.
I've got about 1 million questions. But why come to us now?
I knew some of the Wardens who were caring for the Griffins, Remy and Lancet. I think I know what killed them.
The Gloomhowler. It's a Grey Warden, isn't it? An elf?
But that's all we know.
Yes. Her name was Isaiah. I found her diary. She was a mage. She blighted all the Griffins during the Fourth Blight.
What?
Upon direct orders from the First Warden at the time. She had no choice. This was centuries ago.
Why would they do that?
In her diary, Isaiah said the Blight was going badly. The Wardens couldn't win. They turned to blood magic. The Griffins fought harder, longer.
I see where this is going.
Isaiah didn't want to do it. But orders were orders. It won the war.
But then...
The Griffins became rabid. They turned against the Wardens.
So then the First Warden turned against them.
He ordered them all destroyed.
That's why they're extinct.
Could understand why this Isaiah is so pissed.
She felt betrayed by the Wardens, forcing her to do it. As penance, she hid the remaining eggs with a protective spell. I followed the clues and found them.
That was 400 years ago. She shouldn't even be alive.
Her last entry said she left for her calling.
Then she's probably in the deep roads. Blighted. Twisted.
Hassan? I was there the day you hatched. You've grown.
Careful. He's a shameless flirt.
That's because he's such a pretty boy, isn't he? I remember feeding him gingerwort truffles as a baby.
So you're the reason Davrin's been hunting mushrooms instead of monsters.
Anything for the prince.
I don't see a crown on your head yet, boy.
There should be. Griffins give the Wardens hope. Something to rally around after Weishaupt. Please find his brothers and sisters, whatever it takes. We owe them so much.
Count on it.
Stay safe, Hassan.
This is good information, but it still doesn't tell us where the Gloomhowler is.
No, but the other wardens will keep looking. The Gloomhowler, Isaiah, can't hide forever.
Is Martin staying?
In Lavender, he's usually the restless type. But I'm guessing he'll stick around. Got something in mind? All right, then.
Hey, Antoine. Evka.
I can still hear it. Though it is giving me a headache.
Please be careful.
With the container? It's very sturdy. I tested it.
What? When? And how?
Am I interrupting?
No. Our study of the new blight continues.
We know the gods changed the blight. We think it changed more than they realized, or altered itself after.
It's answering to something other than gods.
Okay. That's not good news, but you're making progress with your studies.
Yes. Well, there's more to learn, but yes.
So what's the blight answering to?
Remember the strange call I heard after the Lavendale battle? It was here, in the wetlands.
We think the source is out a ways, towards the redoubt.
I can tell it's something large, rooted. A construct of the blight itself. An eruption controlling the rest. What that could mean... Everything that calls the blight impacts the Wardens. We withstand it. But gods, archdemons, it all adds strain.
If the eruption calls the blight, then it could mess with us too. Spark the calling sooner. We'll lose ourselves, along with the wetlands.
Antoine, you hear stuff in the blight more than some of the others. Are you?
Yes. A little sensitive, but it's not calling to me. Not yet. Like everyone else, I'll know when that changes.
Should you have told me about all this? About the calling?
First Warden would have said no.
You're our friend. You chase archdemons and fight the blight. It seems fair you know what this means.
So how do I help?
Figured you'd be in. Remember those samples you found when we first arrived? Based on our studies, Antoine made an alchemical flame. It's impressive. It should destroy the eruption.
Theoretically. At least the last batch was stable. Mostly.
But if the eruption's controlling the blight and it gets attacked, then the blight around Lavendale might respond.
Yes, its roots are everywhere. And spreading. I can feel them.
These people can't lose their blight experts. I can go after the eruption.
While we guard against nasty side effects here.
Stay safe. Or as safe as you can.
I've no fear when Evka's at my back.
You've always got me.
The blight poisons so much. Water, plants, animals, people. Some would call the wetlands dead already. But they're not. It's not too late. Whatever the eruption means for the Wardens, we can leave this place better. It's what we're supposed to do.
We'll take our stand in the sheltered glade. Meet us there when you're done.
Company, get ready.
Be ready.
That's getting it done now.
Got company.
Nice hit, bro. There's definitely something in here. Something wrong.
Let us know when this goes from bad to worse.
The eruption's on the other side of that barrier.
We'll need to cut off the tendrils to break through.
And fight a few darkspawn on the way.
Alright. Better move before more darkspawn show up. A tendril! It's a touch!
Up on the ledge. We can get at the tendrils from there.
A ballista!
Well, that could be handy.
We're through.
Let's see what's at the heart of this.
What is... Is that the Blight eruption?
Then heed us.
The Darkspawn are protecting it. We need to take them out. Davrin?
I can hear that eruption. The light's spreading. We need to stop.
Davrin, what is it?
The eruption's not happening. Just keep fighting. We're not falling to it.
We're under fire.
Keep going.
We won't give in.
This is it. Let's get that eruption. All right. We strike and the whole thing goes up. All right. Time to destroy this thing.
They aren't blighted. Were they dormant?
Maybe. They're beautiful. Much like you.
Ah, Rook, hi.
We knew when you hit that eruption. The blight around Lavendel reacted. And there was a sound in it. Like nothing we've heard before.
What happened in there? What was it like?
Now there's a story to get people's attention. I'll tell it at every campfire.
A little bragging is good for you, right?
I want stories about your fight, Lisa.
When the eruption was destroyed, some of the bigger tendrils pulled back. The remaining blight won't vanish overnight, but it's a good sign. And this place opened up.
The flowers here, they managed to survive, buried, untouched. They have a chance to return now.
That's incredible. I wasn't expecting flowers.
It's what we're here to do, to make this possible again.
We thought the Grey Warden's purpose would end when the last archdemons died.
And that time's almost here. It's unbelievable.
The Order is those of us left now. When the archdemons fall, some wardens will hang up their swords. Until their calling, at least.
So the wardens are finished?
No, our numbers may get smaller, but Efka and I will be here. Others will stay too.
There's still blight in the world. There's something new calling to it. And to us.
There's blight inside us too. If it changed out there, have we changed as well?
What matters is that if new evils show up, we'll be here to keep them back.
Are you doing okay with all this? Really?
Don't worry, I'm good. I've got everything I need right here.
Me too.
Do you really think something inside you has changed?
It's possible. Or maybe we're the same. But does that mean we'll be the same? You can't sense the blight. But trust us, it feels different. And the sound is changing too.
As for what it means, it's like Antoine said. We don't know yet.
I'm sure you'll be fine, but if there's anything I can do, just say.
Of course. It's good we answered your first letter, and it didn't catch fire.
What?
It may have come close to an explosive, but we all met in the end.
The Blight feels relentless most of the time. We see what it does up close.
The world dying, how it spreads. But we keep going.
And look, these flowers can make it back.
They really can. And they're beautiful.
I think so.
Lavendel was named for flowers. They must have been everywhere before. When we get back...
We can stay here a bit longer first.
Oh, yes. I thought I heard birds earlier. Maybe we can find them?
Okay, so the plan is basically to sneak around, find Hezenkos's lantern, and smash it. That's quite a crowd over in the manor.
Johanna's gathering. If she's mingling there, we'll be spotted. Fortunately, we have someone who could pass as a servant.
You don't think he'll stand out?
There'll be other undead servants. I'd be surprised if Johanna recognized him. You know, she never truly appreciated Manfred's cleverness. Right, Manfred. You're to find Johanna's guests and help us gather information on where her workshop might be. We'll be watching in case anything occurs.
Something's going to occur.
Once we find and destroy Johanna's lantern, we'll end whatever she's planning. Hopefully before she introduces the lantern to her guests.
There should be enough time for Manfred to blend in as a servant.
Let's find a place inside to observe him, quietly.
Right. Let's find another way in.
Johanna's last guests must already be in attendance.
There's a lot of people here. Hezenkos must be planning to drain their souls with her lantern.
What's her next trick?
Raise more undead, I'd wager. But no ordinary revival would require such a massive store of magic.
Sounds like the party's in that main hall where we confronted Hezenkos.
Perfect. We can watch Manfred discreetly from the balconies.
And see if Hezenkos has that lantern on her.
There's Manfred. And Johanna.
But no lantern.
Now, you were saying about a shrine in the manor.
Yes, a shrine revealed by a spectral toad, which, as an expert, I could read if our host ever lets me into the library.
An ancestral shrine? I could question the deceased there about the location of Johanna's lantern.
Well, if the book can lead us to the shrine, let's hit the library. The library's to the east, right? Where we closed Hezenkos's portal into the Fade.
Something brought her back to the mansion.
What? Johanna must have a workshop hidden here. Likely where she's prepared whatever she plans to empower with this lantern.
Undead, and they aren't friendly.
Johanna's creatures. We must deal with them quickly. I'd expected Johanna to post more guards.
Maybe she didn't want to scare her guests. Let's see if we can find that book pointing to the ancestral shrine. Nothing about a shrine here.
And what's a romance doing under geography?
This isn't it?
Oh.
What about this? That book just snarled at me.
Ah, there's our spectral tome. Well done.
It's not opening.
One must be delicate. That guest of Johanna's claimed to be an expert in spectral literature.
And was interested in the shrine. Let's have Manfred hand him the book, see what he says. Waiting for us. Manfred, take this tome to the man asking about the shrine, please.
Don't worry. We'll watch from the balcony.
What's this? The Spectral Guide to Blackthorn Manor? there now. I want to look up one thing. Ah, there is an ancestral shrine in the northwest wing.
Perfect. Let's go to the shrine.
Yes, the deceased there should be most helpful in finding Johanna's lantern. This way to the shrine.
I haven't seen this many stuffy mages in one place since, well, Minrathous.
Some necromancer celebrations are considered the height of Navarra's social season, Nev.
And I'm sure Morn Watch parties are up there.
Well, you'll just have to attend one yourself.
Ooh, I'll need a new hat.
The shrine's locked.
We must find a... Manfred?
Is this a key to the shrine?
Excellent, Manfred. Oh my! A body from the House of the Verheims, prepared during the Storm Age.
We can come back for it after.
Excellent idea.
Time to find Hezenkos. He's all yours, Emmerich.
By flame and seal, by light and flood, open your eyes once more.
Who dares disturb?
Friends to the dead.
Friends, this one was abandoned, lost.
Emmerich, it's getting noisy.
He's unusually obstinate. Speak! Where is Hezenkos?
Prove yourselves. What claim have you to the deceased? A willing dead companion. This one concedes. Hezenkos makes a thing that should not be. Red tapestry. Look there.
Rook, did you hear that? Manfred just...
I know. Also, we should move.
Oh, he can talk. Manfred, say something else. Come now, you just spoke.
We have to go.
Yes, yes.
More undead.
Nice work. We're on the right track.
That red tapestry. this wall looks... Huh! Secret door.
Manfred, could you please squeeze through and open the door from the other side? Aha! I knew I didn't imagine him speaking.
How can Manfred talk now?
He began as a wisp that embodied what most wisps do: curiosity. I knew he was learning quickly outside the necropolis, but this level of complexity is remarkable.
Well, Fred's always been remarkable. Could have told you that.
Oh, you must tell him so afterwards. Good work, Manfred.
Hope this leads to where Hesenkos is keeping that lantern.
I can only imagine what she's planning to use it for. This must lead to Johanna's workshop.
What's that through the wall?
Oh my word!
Well, that's... She's not going for subtle.
Johanna, even half you can't control something this massive.
That glow on the skeleton up there. That's Hesenkos' lantern.
She's going to use the life stored in it to reanimate that monstrosity. Quickly, we must reach the lantern.
That was a lot of undead.
You may as well weep for the fuel in a bonfire.
I'm seeing why Hezenkos failed that Lich morality test.
We must make haste to that lantern. Unbelievable! Johanna's stolen a chamber from the Grand Necropolis and transposed it under Blackthorn Manor.
That magic should be impossible, so of course we've run into it.
The Necropolis's wards here are still intact. No wonder we couldn't sense what she's been creating.
Don't think I can't sense your
Oh, I wish Manfred had stayed above.
It'll be fine. We'll handle this. Nice one, Emma.
There you are.
Have you released that ladder?
Thank you, Manfred. Now find somewhere safe.
There's the lantern. You're gonna free the spirits inside.
We must, before we can destroy it.
Like back when you were freeing those spirits Hezenkos trapped in the manor. That took a lot out of you.
I must try, Rook.
Emmerich!
There are too many trapped spirits! I'm sorry. I can't. Another lash of power might end me.
What's that, Volkaren? Afraid to chance death for your precious spirits? For all your fine words on the subject, only I had the courage to risk my life for our art.
I've seen Emmerich face worse than you.
I'm not the one so paralyzed by fear I couldn't seize immortality.
Johanna! Listen to me! You're right. I've never overcome fear of that final dark. I miss having a friend that could.
Yes. Always the idealist.
I'm sorry Lichdom failed you. I swear I would have helped you had you come to me. But puppeting this creature...
Puppet? Puppet? Do you think I'm staying a failed lich? I won't command my greatest creation! I will become it! colleagues, interfering Templars, inept rivals, you all have a place in my heart. And tonight you will fuel my ascension at the cost of your miserable lives.
Move!
You think you can stop me? Once I get rid of you, I will merge with my greatest work and conquer this city!
Emmerich, can she do that?
Yes! She's attempting full possession of the life of the people here.
We need to stop Hesenkos long enough to destroy that lantern.
With that much life inside it, the backlash could...
We don't have a choice.
Once I destroy you, wretches, my union, my creation, will be complete! Run, Volkov! Scurry like the rat you are! I can't believe you brought your ridiculous pet skeleton with you!
His name is Manfred!
Aren't you distant? Fine! I'll go down there myself!
About time.
Silence! I'll crush you myself if I must. It's touching that you brought your new friends to die with you, Volkaren. I'll be sure to bury you all in the same tomb!
This isn't working. We can't break the lantern.
You think I'd leave myself vulnerable to you? Enough playing! Your pointless lives will fuel my triumph!
Think we should move! She's draining life from us. We must find shelter.
Right. You can't free the spirits in that lantern.
It might kill me and not even work. No living thing can approach it and... Manfred! Come back!
Any last words, Volkaren, before I... You miserable little...
Manfred!
Manfred knew you could do this. So do I.
Where the spirits bound here, night and shadow, light and blood.
What are you doing?
Let your chains loosen. Let the fade draw close.
You'll never succeed, you old fool!
I release you to the air.
No! You small-minded!
Emmerich, how's Manfred holding together?
We must go to the necropolis. His body could only take so much. But I underestimated him, Rook. What bravery in the heart of the dead. And how he grew. Manfred disobeyed me beautifully. He was his own soul at the end.
Can you bring him back?
I will ask.
Emmerich Volkaren. You were not expected so soon.
If I can do anything to help.
Thank you. But this must come from me. My lord, I come regarding Manfred, my fallen companion.
Yes, there are ways to return his spirit. But should you do this, Lichdom falls from your grasp.
What? Why?
Lichdom is long. If I'm to stand outside death, I must make peace with others passing through it.
What would we otherwise become? How many exceptions till tyranny? Revive him and remain mortal. Or let him slumber and join us.
Emmerich.
Manfred chose to help us. Am I too weak to accept his well-earned rest? I yearn for Lichdom, Rook. That leap into something greater, that everlasting light. Do I revive him and live out my days? Or do I honor death by letting him rest and protect this world through immortality?
Emmerich, Lichdom is your life's work. Your dream.
I imagined I knew its price. If I haven't even the strength to accept Manfred's sacrifice, I would outlive you all, Rook.
Would you still remember us?
Always. Kept alive in Lichdom's immortal memory. Death's swift touch, held back for all time.
If you really want to go beyond death, I think you have what you need to let all of us rest.
And peace shall follow. You're right. After I make my farewells, I will undergo the last rites of Lichdom. And Rook, thank you.
Emmerich probably has to prepare before becoming a Lich. I should see how he's doing.